Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, I got 2 more weeks here in Taiwan. This trip has been marked by me losing things, and I thought this would be a good time for a precautionary tale because I know why I've been misplacing and losing everything that I have. And might not be a bad thing. What had happened was I've been living in Phoenix for almost 3 years now, and I've been having a lot of difficulties making new connections back home in Phoenix. But I came to Taiwan and I started making a lot of new connections, and I got a big decision to make with one of the connections that I made here. And I just felt a wave of relief wash over me that there must be something I'm doing right, and I just need to find the right home, right? That's a much better sentiment to have than I'm just a complete loser and nobody wants to associate with you, which is the sentiment I had less than 12 months ago, right? And so a big wave of relief washed over me. And with that came uh, the loss of uh, good judgment with everything else in my life because all of a sudden you feel a big wave. It's kind of like I don't know how many of you guys can relate to this, but you're on a road trip and you need to use the bathroom and you finally go, and it just has that kind of vibe to it. And another thought I had when I first got to Taiwan, and I still have this thought today, is that while I was on this vacation, it was so much easier for me to have a better lifestyle, eating habits, sleep hygiene, and all that. And I'm thinking to myself, gee, I love my job, but I hate that it comes with the barriers to having good lifestyle. And it really upset me, and it made me really want to think about how do I negotiate that? Because after all, my job doesn't require me to eat in a bad way or sleep in a bad way. No, it's a side effect of that, right? And I hate that. It's not like my work tells me, hey, this job entails you eating 60 hot dogs in 10 minutes. It doesn't. It comes as a side effect, and that's what makes it even all the more upsetting, right? Uh, and so anyway, my second week here, I had to switch hotels, and while I was at the new hotel, I lost my passport. And what was really upsetting was that I had dropped my passport under the bed, and nobody had seen it for a week. It got stuck behind. The wall was blue, and it was kind of camouflaged on the wall. And in the meantime, I panicked and I asked my aunt and uncle about, because I don't read Chinese very well, and they helped me find out where to go replace the passport. Here in Taiwan, it's really tricky because the United States doesn't actually recognize Taiwan as a country. When I get home, I'm going to have to think about if I want to look into finding tracking devices to put on my stuff because I misplace stuff like that all the time. During my trip, my credit cards stopped working. There's some issue. I used Discover for a credit debit card. Discover had some kind of a weird severance with some partner company they had in Taiwan. I had to. I didn't bring my Mastercard because Mastercard charges 3% transaction fees, and so I didn't think about bringing it. I Discover didn't charge any fees, and they had good exchange rates too. So I had to call my Mastercard company and ask them if they could mail me a card here, which it still hasn't come. In the meantime, I was thinking about what to do. I was running short on cash. I went through my suitcase and I discovered that I had a bunch of foreign currencies from previous trips. I had, among other things, Chinese renminbis. I had euros. What else did I change? Hong Kong dollars, Japanese yen, and some Polish zloty. And I went to a local bank here. I wasn't able to exchange the Polish zloty. Well, they did do it, but the rate was horrible, so I held on to it. I only had like 300 something anyway, which is not a lot. And I got about, you guys remember, 26,000 Taiwanese dollars. And a huge wave of relief just washed over it. Oh, thank God. Because I really hate to bother my family. I mean, my parents, my grandparents are here. They would loan me some money until I figured out the card. I didn't want to bother them. And so a huge wave of relief washed over me. And then I went back to the other hotel because Taipei, we can see Taipei here is really busy during the weekend, and I got complacent and I fell asleep before I knew it, and somebody stole all my money. What was really upsetting was that the following day when I woke up, I was trying to assess, the situation because I knew it would take a few days for the credit cards to arrive, how much money I had. Before I could even do that, I realized all my money was gone, and so I filed a police report. And when I went to file the police report, it dawned on me that the other day I had shot photos of the money because I was so relieved about that. And so I was able to give the officer all the serial. I thought there was a way you could put that into a computer and it would tell you what banks the money had flowed. That's what I thought, but apparently there isn't. Like, what's the point of having serial numbers if you can't do that, right? And but the officer, when he took down the serial numbers, you could tell on his facial expression, did this guy set it up like that? Is this some kind of insurance game of some sort? He probably assumed the way he was jotting it down, like, come on. He jotted it down, but his attitude was, come on. You could tell. That was kind of funny because how often do you lose money but have the serial numbers to them? But anyways, both of these losses came in large part because I just felt so much relief that I finally made new connections, relief that I found my passport, relief that I yesterday. Well, I had to ask my grandmother to loan me some money. Yesterday, I finally got my money sorted out. I figured out how to put, even though I had to discover debit card, I realized I could still Western Union money here. And when I picked up the money, it was about 40,000 Taiwanese. I treated it almost like it was something really fragile. Kind of, it reminded me of the first time I ever poured a very large bismuth geode. It was 15, 20 pounds. And I very carefully put that into a picture frame, right? Very steady hands, right? Yesterday, when I picked up the money, it was kind of like that, right? So it gave me a nice warm fuzzy feeling at least. I can't be complacent anymore. I got to go pay back my grandmother. And very, very careful when I get on the subway, get off of it, clenched fists like that, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum.